Welcome all physics tutorial class follower. My name is Waktola. In today's lesson we will be discussing on grade 12 physics entrance exam practice part 2. This program is essential for students who will take grade 12 entrance exam, especially on recent Ethiopian new curriculum. To get all my video, please like, share and subscribe this program. Our title says that choose the correct grade 12 physics entrance exam practice part 2. From this one, our instruction says that choose the correct answer from the given alternative. Choose the correct answer from the given alternative. When we come to question number one says that which set of physical quantities consists of only vector quantity? Choice A, time, mass in luminous intensity. Choice B, temperature, volume in current. Choice C, momentum, velocity in weight. Choice D, force, power in potential differences. First, we have to see the equation. Next, explaining each the given alternatives one by one. Finally, we go to the conclusion. Let us describe the given alternatives one by one. Vector quantities are those that have both magnitude and direction. Examples of vector quantities including displacement, velocity, position, force, the torque. On the other hand, scalar quantities are represented by the single number and have no direction. They include mass, length, time, and energy. From this one, when we come to choice A says that choice A, time, mass, and luminous intensity are all scalar quantities. Luminous intensity is measured in candela, which is a scalar unit. When we come to temperature, choice B says that temperature, volume, current are also scalar quantities. Temperature is measured in Kelvin or degree Celsius. Volume is volume in cubic meter, and current is in ampere. All are scalar quantity. Choice C says that momentum, velocity, and weight are the correct set of vector quantities. Momentum is measured in kilometer times meter per second, has both magnitude and direction. Velocity is measured in meter per second, specific both speed and direction. Weight is measured in Newton, is force due to gravity acting on the object and has both magnitude and direction. Choice D, force, power, and the potential difference are not exclusive vector quantity. Force is a vector quantity because it has both magnitude and direction. Power is a scalar quantity as it is represented the rates of work doing without a specific direction. Potential difference is also a scalar quantity, including the electric potential energy difference between two points. Therefore, the correct answer is C, means momentum, velocity, and weight are sets of vector quantity. Question number 2. Which of the following not true about vector? Choice A, the product of any scalar in vector is a scalar. Choice B, vector subtraction is not commutative. Choice C, the sum of two vector is a vector. Choice D, vector addition is commutative. From this one, let us analyze the given statements about vector. The product of any vector in vector is a scalar. This statement is true. When we multiply a vector by a scalar, remember the result is a vector with the same direction as the original vector, but scaled by the magnitude of the scalar. For example, if V is a scalar vector and A is scalar, then A multiplications of V is scalar multiplied by V. The next one, when we come to choice B, Vector subtraction is not commutative. This statement is also true. Vector addition follows the parallelogram. If we add two vectors, the result is another vector. The sum of the two vectors is obtained by placing the tail of one vector at the end of the other and connecting the tail of the first vector to the head of the second vector. The third one, choice C, vector subtraction is not commutative. This statement is true. For subtraction is not commutative. If subtract vector u from vector v, we get new vector, let's say w, such that w is equals to v minus u. Changing the order of subtraction result in different vector means that w is not equal with what? U minus v. This is other idea. When we come to choice D, vector addition is a commutative. This statement is true. Vector addition is a commutative, meaning that the order in which we add vector does not affect the results. If you add two vectors, let vector u and vector v, the same adding vector u adding vector v, means u plus v is equal v plus u. From when we come to the next or the third one, the third question says that while going to school, students travel 6 kilometers east and then 8 kilometers north in 2 hours. The magnitude of students' average velocity and speed are respectively, choice A, 2 kilometers per hour and 7 kilometers per hour. Choice C, 3.5 kilometers per hour and 2.5 kilometers per hour. Choice B, 2 kilometers per hour and 3 kilometers per hour. Choice D, 5 kilometers per hour and 7 kilometers per hour. Let us break down the problem step by step. First, the student travels 6 kilometers east. This displacement is in the positive x direction when we using directions of what? X-axis. Next, the student travels 8 kilometers north. This displacement is in the y direction. Let us finding the total displacement, which is a straight line distance from the starting point to the ending point. From this one, the horizontal displacement eastward is 6 kilometers. Vertical displacement northward is 8 kilometers. Using a Pythagoras theorem, total displacement is the square root of 6 kilometers square plus 8 kilometers square, and radical, which is equals to 100 kilometers square. When we bring out under the root, this is what 10 kilometers. Now let us find the average velocity and average speed. Our subject matter is what? Average velocity and average speed. Average velocity means displacement vector in 10 kilometers in the north direction. Since the student is moving both east and the northeast, the time taken is what? 2 hours. The average velocity means using the general equations, average velocity is equals to displacement over time taken, which is equals to 10 kilometers over 2 hours, which is equals to 5 kilometers per hour north direction. When we come to the second, average speed is the total distance moved over time taken, which is 14 kilometers over 2 hours, which is equals to 7 kilometers per hour. Therefore, the magnitude of the student average velocity, the first one will get what? 5 kilometers per hour. The second one will get what? 7 kilometers per hour. Next question. Question number 4. Question number 4. Question number 4 says that the relative velocity of two cars moving in the same direction is 40 meters per second, and when they move in opposite directions, their relative velocity is 60 meters per second. One when they are moving in the same direction, the other when they are moving in opposite direction. What is the velocity of each car? Choice A, 10 meters per second and 50 meters per second. Choice B, 30 meters per second and 10 meters per second. Choice C, 35 meters per second and 25 meter per second. Choice D, 50 meter per second and 45 meter per second. Let us donate the velocities of the two cars, V1 and V2. Due to we have what? Two cars. We are giving the following information. Let us denote the velocity, the information. When the car moving in the same direction, the relative velocity 40. When they moving in opposite direction, the relative velocity is 60. We can use the concept's relative velocity to solve this problem. The relative velocity of two bodies moving in the same direction is the difference of their individual velocity, and when they moving in opposite direction, it is what? The same of their individual velocity. Using this idea, when we come to the same direction, relative velocity 40 means the second one, relative velocity 16. In the same direction, relative velocity V2 minus V1 is equals to 14. This is what? V2 car 2 minus car 1. The second one, when they moving in opposite direction, velocity is equals to 60 meter per second, means in opposite direction V1 plus V2. Therefore V1 plus V2 is equal 60 meter per second. In the second idea, V2 minus V2 is equal to 14. Adding both sides means from the given this one. The second one, when we adding, V1 is negative, V2 is what? Positive. So V1 cancel with V2. V2 plus V2 is what? 2V2, and 40 plus 60 is 100. Dividing both sides to 2 and 100 to 2, which is equals to 50 meter per second. Substituting the values of V2 back into the second equation means V1 plus 50 is equals to 60. When we subtracting both sides from the first one, 50 minus 50, 60 minus 50, which is equals to V1 is 10 meter per second. Therefore, the velocity from this one, the velocity of the given this object the velocity of the first car is 10 meter per second, and the velocity of the second car is 15 meter per second from the given alternatives. The second or the next question, number 5 says that which of the following statement is not correct about the concepts and unities of coefficient of friction? A, choice A, coefficient of static friction is no unit. B, coefficient of friction is always less or equal to 1. Choice C, coefficient of friction is the ratio of frictional forces to the normal force. Choice D, coefficient of static friction is less than this value of the kinetic friction. When we come to defining the given this question, each statement about the coefficient of friction, choice A says that coefficient of static friction has no unit. This statement is correct. The coefficient of static friction is dimensionless quantity. It represents the ratio of the friction of forces due to the normal forces when an object is at rest, and about to move. Since both friction force and the normal force are measured in units forces, each newtons or pound, the coefficient of static friction is no specific unit. Choice B says that the coefficient of friction is always less than or equal to 1. This statement is not necessarily correct. The coefficient of friction can take any value, including value greater than 1. It depends on the specific materials and surface in contact for each other. Smooth, icy surface sliding on ice may have very low coefficient of friction, close to 0. Rubber on dry concrete typically has coefficient of friction around 0.6. 0.6. Sandpaper wood can have coefficient of friction greater than 1. Due to this, the coefficient of friction is not universally limited to values less than or equal to 1. Less than or equal to 1. Due to this one, when we come to question number 6. Question number 6, or the next question number 8, number 7, question number 7. Question number 7, in a perfect elastic collision, which of the following is true? A, neither kinetic energy nor momentum is conserved. B, total mass is not conserved but momentum is conserved. Choice C, momentum is conserved but kinetic energy is not conserved. Choice D, momentum is not conserved but kinetic energy is conserved. In perfect inelastic collision, two objects collide and stick together after the impact. In these types of collision, kinetic energy is not conserved, but momentum is conserved. Let us break down these options. Choice A says that neither kinetic energy nor momentum is conserved. This statement is not true. Momentum is conserved in a perfect elastic collision, even though kinetic energy is not conserved. Choice B, total mass is not conserved, but momentum is conserved. This statement is not accurate. The total mass of a system or the combined mass of body object remain constant in any collision, including perfect elastic collision. Momentum is what? Independent. When we come to choice C says that momentum is conserved but kinetic energy is not conserved. This statement is true. In a perfect inelastic collision, the total moment before the collision is equal to the total momentum of after the collision. However, kinetic energy is not conserved because some of it is converted into other forms of energy, such as heat or others. When we come to choice D, momentum is not conserved but kinetic energy is conserved. This statement is incorrect. Momentum is conserved in perfect inelastic collision while kinetic energy is not conserved. Therefore, momentum is conserved but kinetic energy is not conserved. Number 8. Which of the following are contact forces? A, friction, tension, thrust, and air resistance. Choice B, friction, gravity, electrostatics, and kicks. Choice C, electrostatic, magnetic, weight, and viscosity. Choice D, gravity, magnetic, electrostatic, and buoyant forces. When we come to the given alternative one by one, let us examine each statement is about the contact forces. Contact forces are for those that are occur when two objects physically touch each other. Let us evaluate the given option. Friction, tension, thrust, and air resistance for choice A. Friction is the contact force that opposes motion between surface in contact. Tension is a string or rope occur when it is pulled. Thrust is the forces exerted by rocket engine or jets, which is involved physically contact with excess gases. Air resistance, also known as what? It acts on objects moving through the air in the is contact forces. Therefore, all these options involves contact forces. When we come to choice B, friction, gravity, electrostatics, and the kicks, Gravity also gravity is a force acting at a distance. It is not a contact forces because two objects, for example, airs in the object do not need to physically touch. When we come to electrostatic forces, such attraction or repulsive between objects can exist without physical contacts. When we come to kick is involves physically contact, so it is what the contact forces. Therefore this option includes both contact forces. When we come to choice C, electrostatics, magnetic, weight and viscosity. Electrostatic already discussed in the non-contact forces. Magnetic forces act at a distance, and weight is force due to gravity acting on object at, of masses. It is not the contact forces. Viscosity is force can occur due to the contact, but are not limited to physical touching. And choice D, gravity, magnetic, electrostatic, buoyant force. Gravity already discussed in the above. Non-contact forces, magnetic is also discussed. Not contact forces, electrostatics is also not contact forces. Buoyant forces acting on an object submerged in fluids is also contact forces. So contact forces, friction, tension, thrust, air resistance, kick, and buoyant forces are what? The contact forces. So the correct answer is what? Friction, tension, thrust, and air resistance are what? All types of contact forces. In general, today we're discussing on some questions concerning about grade 12 physics entrance exam practice. If you have any question or suggestion, please write your comment. To get the next video, like, share, and subscribe this one. Thank you